A very good morning, thanks for clicking on to Vogan's European Outlook. It is Wednesday, we're approaching the middle portion of April, and April is certainly been a cold month so far. Now the modelling is indicating a bit of a recovery as we go through the second half of the month. There has been some rumblings in the models with regards to a late blast of Arctic air coming down right towards the end of the month. That remains speculative at the moment. The general consensus does indicate warmth as we pull out of the month of April and into the month of May. Now the CFSV2 is indicating a warmer than normal May, and at the very moment I think I'm a little bit skeptical of that based on all the various parameters, the way the pattern has played out so far. Yeah, we could get that, especially given the fact that we have been drying the soils out, and we will continue to dry things out as we press through the remainder of the month. It looks like, yeah, we've got some rain in the forecast, we've got shower activity in the forecast, but in the grand scheme of things, the overall average precipitation is going to be below normal through and into the month of May. Want a quick look today at the sea surface temperature anomalies here. This is currently, and you can see here, quite a lot of warmth over the western and central North Pacific. A lot of warmth here over the Indian Ocean, and especially surrounding Australia, especially in the west, north, and the east side of Australia. The La Nina is starting to approach a neutral state. It is still classified, I believe, as a La Nina, but it is weakening. But the modelling again is indicating that this kind of strengthens once again towards the autumn season. So that will be interesting to watch. And looking at the Atlantic here, cool waters surrounding the British Isles here, warm water west northwest Pacific, northwest Atlantic, and up the eastern seaboard into the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, we're going to be looking at the hurricane season in the next week or so as well, with regards to what that might bring. But it's interesting to see how in the last 7 days, this is the difference in terms of the last 7 days, and arguably you could say that there's more, there's been somewhat more warming in the North Atlantic, but in the Pacific we've got quite a lot of cooling taking place here over the West Pacific, over large swathes of the Indian Ocean surrounding Australia here. So while we've got the waters somewhat warmer than normal across the West Pacific, the Indian Ocean surrounding Australia, when you look at the past 7 days, it's actually been starting to cool somewhat. And looking back at the past 12 months, this is the difference in sea surface temperature. And you can see here a lot of blue on this chart here, indicating that the global ocean, so the net heat content of the oceans globally, has been coming down somewhat, which is very, very interesting. Whether that's solely down to the La Nina, or whether there's other factors, including the low solar activity, that remains to be seen. It's something we just don't know. But it's interesting when you look at the correlation between ocean temperature and the global air temperature. We're actually down towards the average line for the 30-year mean temperature globally, and that is very, very interesting indeed. So while I'm not turning around and saying we're coming into an ice age or anything like that, you can see at least. And this is something I said from nearly 12 months ago, was with this La Nina coming on board, let's watch and see what happens with regards to the Earth's temperature. Because if it doesn't come down with this La Nina, then it would really start to open up many questions with regards to what's driving the warming. But we've seen in the last 12 months, ocean temperatures coming down, and we're seeing the response in the atmosphere as well. So you can see here, like I say, a significant drop in air temperature here globally in the last 12 months or so with regards to that La Nina here taking place. So quite interesting. Looking at the GFS now, like I say, CFSV2, the GFS and the ensemble all indicate that we're starting to kind of see a warming trend taking place during the second half of April. Now, the running mean for the last 12 days, the first 12 days of April, has been about 3 below normal temperature-wise. Now, even with warming, we're likely still to wind up below average for the month of April for the British Isles and the near continent. And it's going to be interesting to see exactly how much warmth we get, and it really would take a major surge of heat to eradicate the cold of the last 12 days. So that is going to be the thing to watch over the coming days. But as we quickly skip through the cycle here, you can see that we start to lose the cold somewhat. It lingers for another wee while yet, and then if you notice here, it starts to kind of ease off somewhat here, and we've got back and forth. So that's it for today. Hope you have a great day. Back